All right, we've got a major winter storm that's going to bring crippling impacts from Texas straight through to Maine this weekend. Winter storm watches are already up across over a dozen states from central New Mexico all the way east into Kentucky. We're looking at heavy snow, devastating ice, and wind chills approaching 60 below zero in the upper Midwest. Drop a comment right now with your city so I can make sure to cover your specific area in this forecast. Let me show you exactly where the heaviest snow and ice are going to set up and when it hits your area. The European model has been the MVP for tracking this storm, and it's showing us a truly dangerous setup developing. Starting Saturday morning around 1 a.m., heavy snow comes together in Kansas with a thin band of freezing rain over the Red River Valley. Dallas is going to start off as cold rain, but that will quickly transition into freezing rain at some point Saturday. As we push forward a couple hours, you can see that huge area of freezing rain expanding into Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Snow is becoming heavier on the backside from the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas into Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas. That first swath of significant heavy snow starts racing past St. Louis into Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio Saturday evening. We're going to get a thumping of snow in Bowling Green, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, up towards Indianapolis Saturday night. But just to the south of that, we are going to have a devastating freezing rain event that could last 12 hours or more. West Tennessee, northern Mississippi, southern Arkansas, northeast Texas, and northern Louisiana, this is where the worst ice happens. And it's not because of the intensity of the rainfall, it's the duration. Potentially 12 hours or more of continuous freezing rain. Then our second area of major concern for ice lights up like a Christmas tree Sunday around 10 a.m. on the Euro model. Northeast Georgia, northwest South Carolina, the entire state of North Carolina pretty much, and also a lot of Virginia. On the southeast side of the Appalachian Mountains, where we have significant cold air damming, we're going to have a prolific ice storm. More than a half inch of ice is going to be possible in a short period of time, and this will bring down trees on those hills. They're going to crash into power lines, and we are going to lose power in a huge portion of this area, I believe. Now, for our friends in Middle Tennessee and Eastern Tennessee, the models have shifted, and I need to address this directly. A few days ago, these models were showing 2 feet of snow over here, and I said, do not get attached to these models. Unfortunately, I think a lot of you did. And some people think I'm in control of these models and are mad the snow's not there. It's not your snow, and it's not my model. These are computer predictions that can change, and this was a pretty big fluctuation. The warm nose shifted north, and now it's looking more like rain or maybe a light mix for Knoxville and Chattanooga. Even though we're getting closer to the storm starting, there will continue to be some shifts as the latest models come in. But we're starting to become more confident on exactly what's going to happen, and the Northeast is now definitely in play. The big question for the I-95 corridor from D.C. to Boston is exactly how much snow versus how much mixing we get. It's going to be tough figuring out exactly what happens in cities like D.C., Baltimore, Philly, New York, and Boston. This is honestly the hardest place on earth to forecast for winter storms because of all the competing factors at play. If this pattern holds and we actually get 15 to 18 inches between Washington, D.C. and Boston, this is huge. This is going to be the biggest snowstorm for a lot of you guys in like a decade, so I'm watching this closely for you. For New England, Boston, Hartford, and areas north, the models are showing some truly impressive snow totals developing. Upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, you could see significant accumulations as this storm intensifies Sunday into Monday. Let me give you specific forecasts city by city so you know exactly what to expect in your area over the next few days. Starting with Kansas, Wichita, you're in the bullseye for heavy snow Saturday with the potential for significant accumulations building. Oklahoma City sits right on that critical line, and the European AI model is showing maybe a foot of snow possible. But you're also at risk for ice mixing in, so this could go either way depending on exactly where that line sets up. Dallas is looking at only an inch or two of snow at most, but the bigger threat here is the freezing rain transition, starting as cold rain Friday night or Saturday morning, then transitioning to freezing rain that could cause widespread power outages. Little Rock, this is one of your most concerning setups because you could see heavy snow initially, then transition to ice. It's possible that the ice is actually going to be far more dangerous for the residents of Little Rock than the initial foot of snow. Memphis, you're looking at only 3 inches of snow according to the European AI, but the ice threat is significant here too. The same setup applies where you get some snow first, then potentially long duration freezing rain that causes major damage. Mountain Home, Arkansas could see 11 inches, showing how sharp this cutoff is between heavy snow and the ice zone to the south. St. Louis, you're going to see that heavy snow racing through Saturday evening, with accumulations building quickly across the metro. Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, you're all getting a thumping of snow Saturday night into Sunday morning. The European AI model is showing a foot of snow in Lexington, Louisville, Evansville, and Cincinnati with this system. Columbus is looking at 8 or 9 inches, Indianapolis 8 or 9 inches as this heavy snow band sets up over the Ohio Valley. Bowling Green, Kentucky could see 7 inches while Clarksville could get 5, and Nashville is right on that sharp cutoff line. Literally the south side of Nashville could get 1 inch of snow while the north side could get 3 or 4 inches. Pikeville, Kentucky and Nashville are both right on that cutoff line where a small shift changes everything dramatically. Charlotte, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Raleigh-Durham, this is ground zero for that Sunday morning ice storm I mentioned earlier. Cold air damming on the southeast side of the Appalachians is going to trap cold air at the surface while warm air rides over the top. This creates the perfect setup for a major ice event with over ½ an inch possible, bringing down trees and power lines everywhere. Richmond, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, the ice threat extends up through Virginia as well, with significant accumulations expected. Now for the Northeast, this is where things get really interesting as the storm cranks up Sunday afternoon into Monday. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, this I-95 corridor is always the trickiest to forecast, and this storm is no exception. The European AI model shows decent snow in Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York up towards Boston. If we get the colder solution with less mixing, we could be looking at significant snow totals across the entire I-95 corridor. New York City is always the hardest place on earth to forecast because of the complex effects from multiple sources. The Atlantic Ocean, the Great Lakes, high pressure from Canada, Gulf moisture, the Appalachian Mountains, it all comes together here. Right now it does look like a significant winter storm with mostly snow is on the way for the Northeast corridor. Boston could absolutely hit the jackpot with this storm if the cold air holds. Potentially one of the biggest storms in years. Hartford, Springfield, Providence, all of southern New England could see major snow accumulations Sunday night into Monday. Upstate New York is going to see heavy lake effect snow bands even before the main storm, with up to 3 feet possible in spots. Watertown, New York, off of Lake Ontario, could be seeing some real heavy lake effect snow bands, the heaviest we've seen this season. Upper Peninsula Michigan, Western Lower Michigan, portions of Ontario, all getting in on significant lake effect accumulations. Pittsburgh is also in play for snow with this system as it moves through, though you're on the western edge of the heaviest stuff. Now let's talk about the preliminary snowfall accumulation map, because this shows just how widespread this event is going to be. From New Mexico all the way to Maine, we could be seeing a lot of areas getting over a foot of snow as depicted by the pink. Some pockets could see up to 2 feet of snow, and this is not out of the realm of possibility with this slow-moving setup. Further south, where we're seeing warm air aloft, that's going to melt the snowflakes as they fall from the cloud base to raindrops. Then they refreeze on contact with the cold surface, and that is freezing rain, which could cause major issues for travel. From North Texas through Oklahoma, much of Arkansas, Tennessee, the Carolinas, and Virginia, ice is the primary threat. Tennessee, the Carolinas, and Virginia, I think that's ground zero for over ½ an inch, if not 3/4 of an inch of ice. This has also shifted a little bit further north as of the recent model runs, so areas that thought they were clear might not be. Further south, where we're seeing warmer air overall, liquid precipitation, we could be seeing several inches of rain near the Gulf Coast. Houston, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Gulfport, Mobile, Panama City could see over 2 to 3 inches of rain with this system. Although it will be a colder rain, so temperatures are going to feel pretty miserable even if you're not getting snow or ice. Going into early next week behind this storm, we're going to be seeing some bitterly cold temperatures and wind chills, honestly brutal. The coldest wind chills and air of the season, most widespread across the east, and you can see that filters in for the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, January 24th and 25th, that really sticks with us as we go into early next week with no warm-up in sight. Here are your wind chill forecasts for Friday morning. We could be seeing wind chills approaching 60 below in some areas. Minnesota, North Dakota, and northern Wisconsin, widespread 30 below or colder all the way down into the Midwest and Ohio Valley. The freezing line will be all the way down near the Gulf Coast, and as we go into Saturday morning, those sub-zero wind chills spread. Wind chills below zero get all the way down into central Oklahoma, northern Arkansas, and western Tennessee by Saturday morning. Going into early next week, that could even make its way into North Texas with below zero wind chills in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. By Sunday morning, we swing over to the east, and we're going to be seeing wind chills in New England and the Great Lakes region brutal. Minus 10, minus 15 going into Friday morning, even colder as we go into Saturday morning in northern New England. Could be seeing 40 below zero wind chills in Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and upstate New York, where the deeper snowpack is. We just continue to see a lot of cold air, and some of these sub-zero wind chills could get down into Tennessee and Kentucky. Virginia, North Carolina as we go into early next week, so make sure to bundle up out there and take this cold seriously. This extreme cold combined with potential power outages from the ice storm creates a really dangerous situation for millions. If you're in an ice zone and you lose power with these kinds of temperatures, that's a life-threatening situation very quickly. Now let's talk about how you need to prepare for this, because the time to act is right now, not Friday when the storm's already here. Stock up on water, non-perishable food, batteries, flashlights, and if you have a generator, make sure it's working and you've got fuel. Charge all your devices now, phones, tablets, laptops, battery packs, everything, because if you lose power, you need that battery. For those in ice zones, fill your bathtubs with water before the storm, because if pipes freeze, you'll need water for toilets. Have multiple ways to stay warm if power goes out. Extra blankets, sleeping bags, hand warmers, layers, whatever you can find. If you have a fireplace, stock up on wood now. And if you don't absolutely have to travel this weekend, just don't do it. The roads are going to be treacherous. And this is not the storm to be a hero in. So stay home if at all possible. If you must travel, have an emergency kit in your car. Blankets, food, water, shovel, sand, or kitty litter for traction. Jumper cables, first aid kit, and tell someone your exact route and when you expect to arrive at your destination. Check on elderly neighbors and anyone who might need help preparing, and bring your pets inside way before this storm arrives. Make sure you've got enough pet food and supplies too, because stores might be closed for days after this storm hits. I'm going to be tracking this storm nonstop over the next several days with multiple updates as new model data comes in. Models are still fine-tuning the exact track and totals, so things will shift, but the overall pattern is locked in, and this is real. This is happening. It's going to be a massive deal for millions of people, and you need to take this seriously and prepare now. If you haven't already, drop a comment with your city. I'm reading every single one, and I'll address locations in the next update. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss updates as this major winter storm develops and moves through. I'll probably go live during the storm too for real-time updates as the snow and ice are actually coming down across the country. Bottom line, major winter storm, massive impacts, life-threatening cold. Take it seriously, prep now, and stay safe out there. We're all in this together as this storm moves through. So make sure you're ready before Friday and check back for more updates. I'll see you in the next forecast with the latest details. Stay warm, stay safe, and we'll get through this together. Peace out, and remember, better safe than sorry with a storm like this one.